today we laughing because we're about to take a ride on the dark side today. Last week we was talking about mirror, mirror. This week we want to talk about smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. The dark side. What are some of your dark sides? The dark side can consist of, let me stop talking all professional, y'all. Let me stop. The dark side is your ego, fear, lack, control, possession, depression, envy, shame, guilt, insecurity. Everything dark that you try to conceal, that you try to hide behind the smoke and mirrors. Are you afraid of the dark? Are you afraid of your dark side? That ugly side that you don't want nobody to see. When you're jealous, you don't want nobody to know it, so you hide it. When you're insecure, so your ego is bigger than you. When you're really scared, you know, like when you try to act like you're so confident, but inside you're really shaking in your boots. When you jealous or when you're angry because you feel like you got something that you didn't deserve. Are you afraid of the dark?
A good one.
A little bit.
Good one.
Hey,
just
a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then, you know, are you I know myself, yes.
Okay.
I'm afraid of my dark side.
Mm.
I'm afraid of my dark side because I know what that dark side is.
Right.
And that dark side was a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
You know, it was. It is.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm afraid of that side because I know it's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
It's hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
It's hurt a lot of people.
Mm.
A lot of people. Family, friends, you know. So yes, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts a lot. That's that monster that's inside of us. And sometimes we don't know that we have that monster inside of us until, you know, you're around someone who's a light, who's, you know, a positive person, a positive impact.
Mm.
Okay, and they bring that darkness up out of you if you allow it. That's if you allow it. That's something to, you know, each of us, you know, I'm sure has experienced. Being jealous, having fear, depression, like Charissa was saying, all of that and more. Even when you go and try to get help for depression or certain things, like a therapist, just to say, I don't think, unless everybody's different, but I just think it takes it takes humbleness. It takes something to humble you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not in my instance, not a therapist. I think it takes life experiences. Mm-hmm. It takes being hurt, mm-hmm. being denied, not being, you know, not getting that job, not getting that love.
Rejection.
Rejection. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
rejection.
Mm-hmm. Rejection.
You know, so that's some of the darkness.
I was talking about today how, like, again, it's no coincidence that we're all stylists, and how the other day I had did a color, and the young lady wanted to go from dark to light. And anybody that know, it's very hard to go from black to blonde because of the imperfections. Mm-hmm. There's no way you're going to go from black to blonde without, well, I can't say there's no way, but a lot of times you can't go from black to blonde without imperfections. Mm-hmm. Without somebody seeing some sort of imperfection in what you did, so you have to color correct. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing with us. It's very hard to go, or people, it's very hard to go from the dark to the light without some type of imperfection. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, you know, like I googled shadow. So today I was just jumping all over the place, like just like anxious, you know. And I'm like, why am I so anxious? Like, what's going on? And it was because everything I saw was really a shadow. Mm-hmm. So I thought about that, how when we're in our shadow side, we are anxious. We are angry. Like, you know, there are so many things in our dark side. And like how you said, are you afraid of your dark side? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It is a struggle to stay balanced. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is a struggle to stay humble. It is especially when you're being a servant, especially when you are trying to do better. things come to test you to see if that dark side. I mean, now it's still there. Don't get me wrong. You know, and we need it. Let's keep it real. Sometimes you do need it, but you have to have balance. You have to have balance to know that, okay, this dark side got me in trouble. You know, let me tell you something. My dark side is a beast, and I know that. So I try to keep her concealed because, and this is real. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's humility. I'm not humble because, well, no, I'm humble because, but you know, like things come to keep you humble. Like a broken heart. That is the most humbling thing to maneuver. Guard your heart because out of it flows the issue of life. That is very hard to still maneuver through life, and my heart is broke because I really want to hurt somebody for hurting me because I'm mad. I feel cheated. So because of that, now I'm operating in my dark side. You know what I mean? Now I'm walking around, like you said, now I'm walking around hurting people because I'm hurting. I'm not even aware.
That's right.
That is when it is something because I'm not even aware that I am hurting people, and it's because I'm my own monster. I'm my own monster.
Definitely could be our own monster.
I was talking to Kanisha this morning about sleepwalking and daydreaming. Yo, a lot of us are so dead that we don't even, and I'm going to say we because I'm grateful for the dark. If I didn't have that dark, I wouldn't know to stay in that light. That dark it's not good, you know?
You don't want to stay there. Nobody should stay
do.
there.
Well, nobody should really stay there because I personally embrace my dark side. Because when you embrace something, then you are able to hold yourself accountable for the things that happen, and you correct those things.
That's right.
And you see yourself for who you really are.
That's right.
Instead of, we were talking about being defensive before, like
Yes.
last week after last episode.
Uh-huh.
And when you look at the word defensive, like when you have your dark side and you see that, you can then see what other people are saying about you,
That's true.
so that you can not so much correct but adjust.
Or accept. You know, like I don't have to receive it, but I can accept what you said.
Yes.
Like somebody said something to me the other day, and I was like, oh, like you know what I'm saying? Like wow, you know, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, because that's your perception.
Absolutely.
So thank you. You know, like I said, we're not always operating in the light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to be humble to receive that because that's that person's perception.
100%.
100. I mean, that's that. I mean, you can't say they're wrong or right. That's just how they perceive you for their thoughts of you.
Yeah.
So, their thoughts of you will make them come up with a judgment. So.
Yeah. Or judgment, or like you said, a perception.
A perception.
Because if you're listening to what they say, you can see certain truths in it. And in that truth, then it can bring you to the light.
Like, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
What I'm saying with her with the perception, even just now, like prior to us, like when we first sat down, something took her to a dark place. Her embracing her dark side, she was able to laugh through it. And she's like, I can't even be dark.
Yeah.
100%.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
and
that.
that goes back to the not necessarily covering it up, but kind of covering it up with something else. Like she said, like I use humor too, like to hide a lot of things. Like if I'm scared about something, I'm gonna make you laugh so you don't reject me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I you know, there are certain things that I do. You know, like I was very anxious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you probably don't think so. I was very anxious. You know what I'm saying? I kept saying, why am I jumping? What am I scared about? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I on the defense? And it's because you're feeling something that you feel you did not get, or you feel you're entitled to. You know what I'm saying?
You feel cheated.
You feel cheated, yes.
Yeah. And I think ultimately when you feel cheated, it's just human nature to feel that you're going to protect yourself from being in that same situation again.
Guarded.
So now we become guarded.
Yeah.
And then how do you let that guard down when it's appropriate?
You have to trust. Like I was saying earlier, like I said, it's hard. You know, like it's a work. It's not something that it's a work when you've been hurt and wounded. It is constant work to stay on the light side. You know what I'm saying? If the dark is not good for you, because some people the dark works very well for them.
Yeah.
It works some people can operate well in the dark. You know, like I mean, you ever see children just really not afraid of the dark? It's like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like some people really work well in darkness. You know, so. But I was also thinking about how a lot of times as stylists we wear dark clothes, and it's because we don't want people to see the spots on our clothes, or you know. But now, what about when you so dark, right, and that light come in, and you're gonna see them white spots on those clothes. So that goes back to the light illuminating the dark. And you said earlier things glow in the dark.
Yeah.
She lost her phone a couple of days ago.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Lost my
Tell
phone.
the story. Come on, G. Don't tell the story now.
So, I've never done this. I was riding. I left the phone on the top of the car, right, and did not know that the car. And I heard it, but it didn't. It took me 6 hours to realize my phone was where it was. So when I realized it,
Say now this.
because I was looking, I was running around. I'm like, okay, it's in the car. I thought it died and it fell underneath the seat in the car. When I went under there, they finally get it. I'm like, oh, it's not here. And then I started remembering, like, okay, it fell. Like when you thought that something fell on the top of the car, it was actually a phone falling up. Now I'm trying to remember where it was. So long story short, I walked that whole stretch of street, but. I prayed and I cried and I'm like, Lord, if you love me, you will let me find my phone. Like it was crazy.
Gonna challenge the Lord.
I sure did, because I really liked my phone. And even if it was
Lord.
like broken out, it was like some sentimental value in the phone for me, you know. So I was like, I need this, like, you know, and you know, God, you know what it is. So as I'm walking, it's almost like I could see it. It was getting dark. I wanted to do it before it was getting dark, and someone was calling at that precise moment as I walked by. And the phone lit up, and I saw it, and it was just like almost like the light just came down under the dark, and it just like made it. And the phone was broken and everything, but it still works.
But
So
it was
it's
the
like-
light that
but the
made
light
you
that
know
made
it.
me aware
So
of
that's
it.
what I was saying earlier about there's always some type of advocate or some type of something that comes to illuminate the darkness. Always, there's always something that stands in the gap. That's just like you know, like I said, how you know in the beginning the earth was dark. It was dark. And it was void, and that goes back to us. When we dark, we void, we lack, you know, like all of these what do you call it, like negative, everything that's negative. And so, but there had to be a division. He had to create the dark from the light, but he said it was good.
When he
So-
said, let there be light.
Let there be light at the
And
end,
it was
you
good.
know, because you have to have light, you know, in the darkness. But again, it's you know, it's a lot of people don't want to face that dark side because they're trying to hide because they feel that people won't accept them in their dark side, you know,
Disguising things.
disguising things, hiding
Absolutely,
things.
hiding things.
Yep.
But do you
Oh,
think
yeah.
that makes it, okay, so if I'm meeting you and I'm disguised, and you're meeting me and you're disguised, and when we meet each other, we're thinking, like, it makes it a roller coaster for people to be in alignment with one another. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not giving me you, and you're not giving me, you know.
Because we're both fearing
Because
that
we're
you're going to
fearing.
reject the real me.
And so when I realized that you frauded me,
Uh-huh.
now I'm hurt
Uh-huh.
because you frauded me. You gave me a wrong person. I'm doing the same thing,
Mhm.
but now it's building onto my hurt. So it's like a roller coaster of hurt and disappointment.
But is it also too like, you know, it's not that, and sometimes it's not that people are concealing, sometimes they trying to be better.
Yes.
Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they
Sometimes,
are
yes,
concealing,
yes.
but sometimes they're healing, so they're trying to be better. But sometimes that person is a trigger. You know what I mean? It's a trigger, so that comes the balance in trying to not be triggered. Like I had posted one time, I said, how can your triggers heal if you keep firing the gun?
Girl.
Like I keep firing my own gun. So I'm really murdering myself. I'm really shooting myself. I keep that goes back to being your own monster. But how do you not be your own monster?
I think that just comes with just life experiences. I think that eventually you should be able to somehow pull yourself out of that after. I think it attacks darkness, it attacks your health, it attacks everything. You know, so when you like physically falling apart, you know, you should really know, like, you know, what's going on, because, you know, that darkness right there, like, that's your worst enemy. And just always, I know, like, just thinking negatively all the time, everything negative.
So that's
And you're
what
gonna, and you're gonna get negative. You keep thinking about it, it's gonna be negative from my own experience. You know, so, you know, gotta pull myself out of that. Just always thinking the worst, because I was, a lot of times things didn't work out for me. But then when it did, I'm like, I didn't know how to receive it. So a lot of times when I did receive things, I messed it up. I messed it up.
Okay. I'm running for the hills. This thing looks too good. I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm out. I get it. That is bad because now you done hurt somebody else, or you done. Well, I won't say, but you done cheated yourself. You cheated yourself.
That's right.
Because you done.
That's right. When
I get it.
Messed it up, guess what? God gonna make it harder for you to get that back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For real. I get it though, but He knows us. He knows what to. But that's how we learn.
That's right.
That's how we learn.
That's
but
right.
Honey, trust me, I've been there. Mother is a runner. Okay.
Right.
Girl.
What?
We talked about that.
Mother's a runner. I know that thing. You know what I'm saying? But when you stay put, that's
and don't shut down. And know how not to just shut down.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, I try to work on that because I know that is something that I can do. I know that because of my fears are great too. Don't think because my fears are great, and I can run too. I can hurt you too. I can do things to you too. I've been hurt too. I've been hurt a lot. I've been rejected a lot, but I keep going, and it is not easy.
And that's the part when it's not easy, like when you're, especially with a broken heart, and when it's like, you're dealing with things and you're trying to figure it out, and you too keep going. How do you keep going? You know what I mean? Like, that's the hard part when you have to say, like, all right, I'm gonna take one foot and make this one step, but it hurts. It hurts, So it's like you have to, now that becomes a choice. And we talked about that before, the choices that we make. So,
and sometimes you gotta believe that there's something higher than you. So when you are scared, like for me, when I am scared, I have to go to something higher than me. I have to, because if not, so I said earlier, I am grateful for broken hearts. I mean, it keeps me humble. It says He gives grace to the humble. It keeps me humble. I am grateful for being misunderstood sometimes. Because it makes me say, God, why didn't they understand me? Not in victim mentality, not victim, but God, why didn't they understand me? Why didn't they see the intent of my heart? Not what came out my mouth, not my actions. Why didn't they see the intent of my heart, God? Because my heart was pure. Why? But that keep me humble.
And that's the part right there. That right there, the staying humble. Because for me, like with being having a broken heart, and you still keep going, and it's like, all right, but God keeps me, and He keeps me whole. Holding on to Him for every word, because I don't got it. And like she said, I'll mess it up.
I ain't got it, yo.
I'll mess it up.
I ain't got it.
Mess it up. So I gotta hold on to the higher power.
I word is more, because I ain't got room for another one.
No.
I mean that thing. Like, let's keep it real. Like I said, everything ain't always light. We dealing with the dark today. We keeping it real. Like, I don't have it. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. This is my dark side. Why are you laughing, Shayna? Like I'm on this side. Dark side.
Every time she embraces her dark side.
I sound like my mama. Why you laughing? I sound like my mama. Wait, sound like my mama. Come over here. Wait, why you laughing?
This is, I'm taking it all in. I'm listening. And like every time y'all talk about the dark side, I'm like, even like looking in the area that we're in, I'm looking at
It's
the
so
people.
much light here.
It is a lot of light, but I'm also looking at the people who are in the shadows. And sometimes in my head, I'm like, I prefer to be in the shadow. I prefer to be out of the light. I prefer for people just not to see me right now.
Right now.
Not lurking, just position. Leave me back here.
I like that.
I want to be in peace. Because when you go to sleep, you have peace.
That's true. In the dark.
And your eyes is closed and you in the dark.
Eyes wide shut.
Can't nobody sleep with all the lights on. That's I don't know. Crazy people do that. I don't know.
I don't know about to be crazy.
I like more so like just kind of like sitting back in the shadows.
And that's okay though.
Yeah.
That's okay.
As long as you know what shadows you're sitting inside of. Like, I'm not trying to sit inside of like deception. Like that type of shadow.
Yeah.
I'm more so sitting in like a place of observance.
Solitude, observance, yes. Now, those are positive sides. I like that because those are positive sides of the dark side, which is wonderful because we we need the dark. That's like I said, I'm grateful for that dark because that dark keeps me, because sometimes when you're impulsive and you just, honey, that's the story of my life, or used to be the story of my life. Like just running. But when you sit still and you observe and you define and you go in, you become intuitive and you become wise. Wisdom is found also in the darkness. So I mean, like I said, you need both.
That's why I said earlier, you got to learn how to embrace that side. You embrace both because there's also darkness in the light.
Yes.
When people just enjoy being in the limelight constantly all the time, like that is also covering your
ego.
So when I laugh, or if I'm just off to myself, or if I'm just having a big rah-rah moment, like those are things that can actually shine light on my darkness. And it can get very scary. So I just try to find a balance. Like you said earlier, if I can be neutral, I can coast.
What did I say to you when I was talking to you that day? I was like, I'm not good or bad, I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
I don't really feel anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I said, sometimes you can go into victim mentality and that's when those other things will come out. But sometimes when you just balance, it's just like I don't really feel anything. I'm content.
Yeah, content.
Like no matter what state I'm in, I'm just content. I'm not happy, I'm not sad. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I love that.
But it takes, I think, to get to that point is where you have to say, again, I didn't get what I felt I deserved, but maybe it was good for me too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for real, like maybe it was good for me too. Yeah. Because it brought me to the middle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
rejection can be good.
Yes. Protection.
But that's protection.
Yes. In some
protection.
way. Yes.
So that absolutely.
Yeah.
When you sitting still, something upsets us, pisses us off, and we ready to just jump and react, act a fool or whatever. But with experience, you like, wait a minute, let me sit down, let me just
think this.
Let me think this out, because maybe I'm overreacting or overthinking something.
Yep.
And so that's
the worst one.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that baby, I'm all about it.
So bad.
For real. But I think too, to keep you from overthinking, is that goes back to believing in something higher than you and listening to your intuition. Let me tell you something, your intuition, it will guide you. If you sit still and hear, your intuition will guide you.
You ain't got to do nothing.
I almost messed myself up the other day behind being impulsive and not listening to my intuition, because it speaks, but you gotta get quiet.
Yeah.
It can't fight against your ego. You got to sit still. You gotta get quiet and hear, and the answers will come to you. Like I was saying, like the answers will come in the dark. In the dark.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of times when you go into the dark, and sometimes you go in the dark and you're in your solitude moment, like like you said, and then you'll see a lot more. And it repositions you to go to a different place.
Yeah.
I like that. It repositions you to transition. Like that, I like that. I like that. I really like that. It's true, man. It's like, but what was the advocate? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like sometimes that's why things come to advocate for you, to let you know, I gotta get about this place, And it's very easy when you, and like I said, there's positive points to the dark, because it's very easy to go down there. And it's okay to go down there, but don't stay there. Don't stay there. That thing, oh my God.
Especially if you're not one to be able to navigate.
To position, to get up high. Like there was a sinkhole today, right? And I'm watching that sinkhole. I was watching on the news, right? And I don't watch the news. I don't even know why the news was on, because I don't even like the news. But but which is crazy, which is an oxymoron, because I'll sit there and watch murder shows all day. Though.
Me too.
I don't watch murder shows, but I won't watch the news. That is so stupid.
It's different.
Yo, my TV be on the ID channel all day long, but I won't watch the news. So is the news fake? Which one is it?
Well, no, the news is just too depressing, so we just choose to opt
But the murder show ain't.
The murder show will have me locking every window, every door.
That's what makes it paranoid. Okay.
Hey.
Safe.
I'm a safe paranoid.
And
I'm gonna come in. Just come on in.
Come
on in, baby.
And
I got murdered. I got good. I got my throat slashed. Okay. Being all optimistic.
But your intuition stopped.
Okay, yeah, right. No, I wasn't listening, because my ego was too big. Come on in, baby. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Watch enough of them shows, it's going to teach you something.
Okay.
Baby, I done seen something like this happen.
Nah, but I'll be on it. I'll be like, stalker, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Yep.
I walk very fast in the dark.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm clean
Oh,
on
that's
anything
so
something
funny.
gassy because can't nobody catch you if they can't breathe. I'm just
Okay.
running and booting down the street. Games I don't play.
Watch my smoke.
Yeah, all of that.
I can't.
But hold on, sorry.
Oh, God.
Sorry, bring it back. Bring it back to the sinkhole.
So yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sorry, I got off thing. I'm sorry, girl. But wait, okay, look, I'm sorry, girl. Now I feel like I'm on the phone with y'all. You know what I'm saying? All right, but wait, no. So wait. So the sinkhole, right? So I'm watching the sinkhole, and I'm looking. I said, I mean, it's just getting deeper. Kept getting deeper and deeper, and I was like, dang. But I said, but what made the sinkhole come? You know, I'm always, what made the sinkhole happen, and why that part of the highway? Why not the other part of the highway? Why that part? So what was wearing thin that it gave way?
Oh, wow.
What was wearing thin in you, right? That it gave way and it just said, shh, I'm done, forget it, I can't do this no more.
Well, maybe
Into
the
the
way
dark
people
space.
treat you, that starts to weigh on you.
Say that again?
The way people treat you, that can also weigh on you. And
Absolutely.
where your patience
That's
stay.
it.
You know, like you can put what people do to you in the darkness so that you can, you know, stay in the light and try to be as positive as possible. And like when they keep doing it, you know,
They keep
it's
doing
only
it and
but
doing
so
it.
much
Yes,
that-
and you like,
that
you know what? I'm
little beat
tired.
can
I
take.
can't. Like that's it. Like,
And it's just life been, you know, like
Yeah.
you can have a bad day at work. You could have, you know, the kids get on your nerves, the you know, the kids school call, you had a bad day at work, and now your man done got on your nerves, and now it's like all of these things at you at one time, particularly, and now you sinkhole. You know, it's like
But my thing is, I get that, but I'm saying like,
what caused you actually?
what caused you to shut all the way down like that? What caused you to go in that deep hole like that? Because at one time, the man didn't get on your nerve. At one time, them kids didn't get on your nerve. Like, what caused you to
Not
go
dealing with it.
boom, 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 concealing it,
Concealing it.
not dealing with it,
That's
not
right.
addressing it. So now we got all these health issues because we didn't address what was,
What
you
should
know
have
what I'm
been
saying?
addressed a long time
Yeah.
ago. We
You
just
know,
keep covering. You
This
keep
makes me
covering
tell.
up.
I'm sorry. When you said something about the kids' school call, and I used to tell them, don't wait till the pot boils over to try to clean up the mess. And that is perfect for right now. Like when things just keep, you have to speak immediately.
Now check this out. My mom used to say the wash pot never boiled, right? So that meant I had no patience growing up. None. I wanted everything instantly, right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
I
didn't.
didn't up in the microwave society, and we
Yeah.
started getting food instantly. So now we're feeling like
And that's why we acting impulsive because you know what I'm saying. But like I thank God for that old school teaching because life will teach you. Don't be so fast. You mess up. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna mess up. Take your time. Chill. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna come to you.
Yeah.
What's meant for you is gonna come. It's gonna happen. It's just gonna be given to you in due time. Patience, boy, that's a struggle. Patience.
that's
Ooh,
something
that's
that,
a struggle.
and I still struggle with it.
And that's something that you just gotta pray for.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
I pray for
Yep.
patience. I pray for peace.
That's
I
right.
pray for wisdom.
Wisdom.
And guidance.
Yes, that's it. But that's going to something higher than you.
Yeah.
Because we know that dark side is very ugly and we it's not that we try to conceal the dark side.
Don't wanna go
We
back
try
there.
to balance the dark side
Yeah.
because it is there. You need light and you need dark to live. You know what I mean? You need both sides. You know, that's the yin and the yang. So we do not have a lot of time. I just want to thank you all for coming. You know what to
say
say.
thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, you know.
Thank you for listening.
Food for thought. That's really what it is. Everything is all food for thought. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You know, we ain't no scholars. You know, food for thought, perspectives. You know, and so give your handle if you want.
Charisse 0714.
Charissa _ Marcella.
Get Beta Show.
And the broad understreet bully.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.